Welcome to this video in which I'm going to be discussing about the Carnegie Mellon University Tepper School of Business. So I'm going to take you through details about the program, and I'm also going to be analyzing their essays. So in case you are applying this year to the Tepper MBA program, then please stay with me till the end. I have a lot of information to share with you. Okay, so let's start with the basics now. The application deadlines. So what are the deadlines? You have a October 3rd deadline, you have a Jan 5th deadline, and you have a March 7th and a April 18th deadline. But guess what? The March 7th and April 18th, round 3, round 4 do not even get there. In fact, on the Tepper website itself, it clearly states international applicants are encouraged to apply no later than round 2, January 5th, 2019 to ensure adequate time for the student visa process. Last thing that they want to do, give an offer to someone and that person is not able to take up because it's too late, because they are not able to get the visa, because they are not able to get finances. And for B schools, there is an important metric that they look at, which is the yield percentage. Yield percentage is the total number of offers that were made, okay, as a denominator, and the numerator is the total number of offers accepted. Right? So if I make 100 offers but only 50 people accept it, it kind of goes against the reputation of the school, right? So that is why they encourage you to apply in round 1, round 2. October 3rd, Jan 5th, according to me, you have plenty of time. October 3rd will give you the decision notification by December 12th, and if you are applying by January 5th, you will get to know by March 13th, right? So that's as far as deadlines are concerned. What about the program itself, the Tepper program itself? I think one fascination that Indians have for the Tepper program is that the Tepper program, the Carnegie Mellon, right, CMU, I think it has a very strong brand equity in India, correct? So a lot of people understand that brand, know that, you know, when they carry that brand on their resumes, even if they were to come back to India, it carries a certain weight. Why does this happen? Because Carnegie Mellon has been in the forefront of management science, right? Decision science. So if you look at the Carnegie Mellon University, you will see that there is a lot of things happening in the computers, you know, in analytics, and a lot of other places where typically people with tech backgrounds would do very well, right? So I think the fact that you get a MBA program in such a university setting, which is fairly technical, is something that would definitely be to your advantage. They also have very flexible specialization. They have as many as 13 concentrations. So I think that's again a USP about the program. The other thing is the technology jobs, right? So again, I'm maybe a little biased towards Indian candidates applying to a place like Tepper, but chances are if you're watching this video and you are an Indian applying to Tepper, you probably have some tech background either in your education or in your experience, right? So I think this is a program that kind of gives you the best of both the brand equity as well as the technology background that is required. All right, so now let's get to the all important part. Let's get to the essays. So this year you have a required essay. So it says Carnegie Mellon University's Tepper School. We love to tell our story. Below is your chance to tell yours. Please select only one of the options below to complete the essay requirement, maximum 300 to 350 words. Now think about it, one essay 300 to 350 words, okay? So let's see. Option 1. Carnegie Mellon University is an institution that never stops looking and moving ahead, pioneering the next way forward with technology, business, and research to answer questions big and small. Personally or professionally, in what way have you been a pioneer? Now, you have to understand that the word pioneer is someone who's done something for the first time. You don't need to be a pioneer and say that I invented the microwave or I invented the telephone. What they mean by pioneer is something that you did which perhaps your peer group did not do. Correct? So here is an example of one story that one of the students had written about how he came from an entrepreneurial background. His family business where his father, his grandfather, everyone had been taking care of the business. He had 3 uncles and he had a plethora of cousins. And he said it is almost like right from childhood, we were groomed into something like we have to do this, we have to get into the family business, right? That's what my uncles and aunts spoke about. But he said, no, I don't want to do this. And he actually broke away from the family tradition. And he was a pioneer, quote unquote, where he actually pursued his engineering and he actually worked in the industry. And his logic was, look, I will work in the industry, I will get an MBA, and I will perhaps get back to my family business at some point. But right now, I feel that unless and until I go outside the scope of what that I've known, I will not be able to grow. You need to tell your story of pioneering in some way. It could be personal, it could be professional. Something that you did that probably people did not do, probably people did not think of. Correct? Lot of opportunities for you to tell really good stories, but I think the key here is to look at the key phrases. What do they talk about CMU? Never stops looking and moving ahead, right? So obviously if you're pioneering something, you probably have challenges. Things weren't easy. How did you push? How did you persevere? How did you keep moving, right? So I think that's an important element of telling the first essay. Option 2, admits the ambiguous and uncharted nature of change. Carnegie Mellon University students and alumni rise above to envision and create. Discuss how you have anticipated change in your professional life. In what ways did you effectively collaborate to create your desired outcome? So now you need to talk about something that is strictly professional. See, in the earlier question, it clearly says personal or professionally. Personally or professionally. Over here, it says your professional life. So you need to tell me something at work that happened that you were not aware of, something that took you by surprise. I have known students who have spoken about the fact that their company always believed in a very traditional model of deploying the software, right? So you had to download and you had to install. But this particular person, he wanted to put it on web, that's the change that he had not, in some sense, anticipated. Correct. So he said that initially it was a great product. It had a lot of people. It had a lot of takers in the market. But because we did not move fast enough to the cloud, we started seeing that people moved away from our product, away from our solution. So here again, I'm going to pick this word. Discuss how you have anticipated change in your professional life. What do you mean by the word anticipate change? It means you look at change before change happens. So what he did was he said that, I was the person in the company who actually kept pushing them for a web platform, for a SaaS solution. And he said, I did that even before people in my company realized it, because I was seeing that change all around me. Right? And he spoke about how he convinced, and then going back to this thing, which is to rise above and to envision and create, right? So he managed to convince them, and today that company is successful because it was able to anticipate a trend of people moving from software to the cloud, right? So he was pivotal in making that decision. Third essay, at Carnegie Mellon University, our difference is what we imagine for the world and how we answer its challenges. What impact have you had on the world around you? Classic impact essay. You see, one thing about this is, remember, 300, 350 words. You need to be focusing on why is it a challenge and what is the impact that you created. I think the mistake that people do in this essay is they don't really quantify the impact. They end up saying what they did, right? But instead of saying what you did, I would like to know what happened because of what you did. Okay, so I would not waste a lot of time talking about what I did. I would focus on the impact. What did it mean for others? How did that make me feel? What does it tell you about me? Would I continue doing certain things at Carnegie Mellon once I get admission? These are the kind of questions you need to be addressing with that. So don't focus only on what you did. Focus on what impact have you had on the world. So what is it that you did, right? So Not just what you did, but also how the world received whatever you did and how it made you feel. So it's very important that we focus on that part also. So those are the 3 essays. Looks very simple, but I would suggest you start writing right away. Okay. There is also an optional essay which I have said earlier is not to be used unless and until you have a significant gap in your education or your experience. Correct. So 3 essays. Pick one. There is no preference given to essay 1 over 2 over 3. There are going to be enough people coming in with each of the 3 prompts. So none of these 3 prompts is going to give you an edge over the other. I would probably pick one that resonates more with me, that resonates more with my story. Correct? So is the story about how you are an innovative, how you are a pioneer? Is the story about change, how you anticipated and responded to change, or is it a story about the impact you have created? Which of the 3 stories do you think you have the most powerful narrative, the more convincing thing to tell the outcome? I would probably pick that, right? So I hope this video was useful. I would love to hear what you have in case you are applying to Carnegie Mellon, in case you are applying to Tepper. Let me know and let's see if we can work together on this. Please go ahead and let us know. Drop the comment or just get in touch with me directly, right? I hope you found this video useful. Thank you so much for your time.